Tsunamis are a series of ocean waves with very long wavelengths, typically several hundred kilometers, caused by large-scale disturbances of the ocean, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorite impacts. Tsunamis can travel across entire ocean basins and can cause significant damage and loss of life when they reach coastal areas. The most common cause of tsunamis is earthquakes. When an earthquake occurs under the ocean floor, it can cause the water above to be displaced and generate a tsunami. The size and strength of a tsunami depend on several factors, including the magnitude and depth of the earthquake, the distance between the earthquake and the coast, and the shape and depth of the seafloor. Tsunamis can also be caused by volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorite impacts. Volcanic tsunamis are generated when an explosive eruption causes a sudden displacement of water, while landslide tsunamis are caused by the rapid movement of large masses of sediment or rock into the ocean. Meteorite impacts can create large waves, but they are rare events and have not been observed in modern times. Tsunamis can travel across the ocean at speeds of up to 700 km per hour, but their amplitude, height, is typically less than 1 meter in deep water. As the tsunami approaches shallow water near the coast, its velocity decreases and its amplitude increases, sometimes reaching several meters or even tens of meters. This can cause significant flooding and damage to coastal infrastructure. The Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004 was one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history, killing over 230,000 people in 14 countries. It was caused by a magnitude 9.1 earthquake off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, and generated waves that reached heights of up to 30 meters in some areas. To reduce the impact of tsunamis, early warning systems have been implemented in many coastal regions. These systems use seismic data to quickly detect earthquakes that may generate tsunamis and issue warnings to coastal communities. Evacuation plans and tsunami shelters are also important for protecting people from the effects of tsunamis. In conclusion, tsunamis are powerful and destructive ocean waves caused by large-scale disturbances of the ocean. They can be caused by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorite impacts. Early warning systems and evacuation plans are important for reducing the impact of tsunamis and protecting coastal communities. How tsunamis occur? Tsunamis occur when large amounts of energy are suddenly transferred from one medium to another. In most cases, this energy transfer is caused by an undersea earthquake, but tsunamis can also be generated by volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorite impacts. When an undersea earthquake occurs, it can cause the seafloor to move suddenly and displace a large amount of water. This water then moves outwards from the source of the earthquake, creating a series of waves that can travel across entire ocean basins. The energy of the tsunami waves is distributed across a very long wavelength, which means that the waves can travel vast distances without losing much of their energy. In deep ocean water, the amplitude of a tsunami wave is usually less than 1 meter, but its wavelength can be hundreds of kilometers long. As the tsunami waves approach the coastline, the water depth decreases, which causes the waves to slow down and increase in height. The energy of the waves becomes compressed, which can cause them to rise to several meters or even tens of meters in height. When the waves finally reach the shore, they can cause widespread flooding and damage to coastal infrastructure. In addition to earthquakes, tsunamis can also be generated by volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorite impacts. Volcanic tsunamis are generated when an explosive eruption causes a sudden displacement of water. Landslide tsunamis are caused by the rapid movement of large masses of sediment or rock into the ocean. Meteorite impacts can create large waves, but they are rare events and have not been observed in modern times. Overall, tsunamis are complex phenomena that occur when large amounts of energy are suddenly transferred from one medium to another. While undersea earthquakes are the most common cause of tsunamis, they can also be generated by volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteorite impacts. Understanding how tsunamis occur is crucial for developing early warning systems and protecting coastal communities from the destructive effects of these waves. Next, hurricane. A hurricane is a large and powerful tropical storm that forms over warm ocean waters. Hurricanes are characterized by strong winds, heavy rain, storm surge, and can cause significant damage and loss of life. Hurricanes are formed when warm ocean water, typically above 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius, provides the energy needed to fuel the storm. The warm air rises, creating a low-pressure area, which causes the surrounding air to rush in and begin to spin. This creates a rotating system of thunderstorms that feed off of the warm ocean water and continue to grow in size and strength. The strength of a hurricane is measured using the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, which categorizes hurricanes into 5 different categories based on their wind speed. Category 1 hurricanes have winds between 74 to 95 miles per hour, 119 to 153 kilometers per hour, while Category 5 hurricanes have winds exceeding 157 miles per hour, 252 kilometers per hour. In addition to strong winds, hurricanes are also known for their heavy rain, which can lead to flooding and landslides. Storm surge is another danger associated with hurricanes, which is a rise in sea level that can cause significant coastal flooding and damage. Hurricane season in the Atlantic Basin typically runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak season occurring between mid-August and late October. In the Pacific Basin, hurricane season typically runs from May 15th to November 30th. To prepare for hurricanes, it is important to have an emergency plan in place and to stock up on necessary supplies such as food, water, and medication. Evacuation orders may also be issued in areas at risk of storm surge or flooding. Overall, hurricanes are powerful and dangerous storms that can cause significant damage and loss of life. Understanding how hurricanes form and knowing how to prepare for them is crucial for protecting yourself and your community from their destructive effects. How hurricanes occur. Hurricanes are formed when warm ocean water provides the energy needed to fuel a large and powerful tropical storm. The process begins with a disturbance in the atmosphere, such as a tropical wave, that moves over warm ocean water. As the disturbance moves over the warm water, the warm air at the surface rises, creating a low-pressure area. The surrounding air rushes in to fill the void, and as it does, it begins to spin due to the rotation of the Earth. This creates a rotating system of thunderstorms that feed off of the warm ocean water and continue to grow in size and strength. As the storm continues to intensify, it forms an eye, which is a circular area of calm weather at the center of the storm. Around the eye, the storm's most intense winds and heaviest rainfall are found in a region known as the eye wall. The strength of a hurricane is measured using the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, which categorizes hurricanes into 5 different categories based on their wind speed. A Category 1 hurricane has winds between 74 to 95 miles per hour, 119 to 153 kilometers per hour, while a Category 5 hurricane has winds exceeding 157 miles per hour, 252 kilometers per hour. Hurricane season in the Atlantic Basin typically runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak season occurring between mid-August and late October. In the Pacific Basin, hurricane season typically runs from May 15th to November 30th. Overall, hurricanes are formed when warm ocean water provides the energy needed to fuel a large and powerful tropical storm. Understanding how hurricanes form and knowing how to prepare for them is crucial for protecting yourself and your community from their destructive effects. And next, floods. Floods are natural disasters that occur when an area receives more water than it can absorb or hold. They can be caused by heavy rainfall, snowmelt, storm surge, or dam failures, among other factors. Floods can cause significant damage to property and infrastructure, and can also pose a threat to human life. In addition to the immediate impact of flooding, there can also be long-term effects, such as mold growth and structural damage to buildings. There are several types of floods, including flash floods, river floods, coastal floods, and urban floods. Flash floods are sudden, rapid floods that often occur in low-lying areas or near small streams and can be caused by heavy rainfall. River floods occur when a river overflows its banks, often due to prolonged rainfall or snowmelt. Coastal floods are caused by storm surge or tidal waves, while urban floods occur when drainage systems are overwhelmed by heavy rainfall. To prepare for floods, it is important to have an emergency plan in place and to know the risks associated with the area where you live or work. This may involve purchasing flood insurance, creating an emergency kit, and developing an evacuation plan. Overall, floods are a serious and potentially life-threatening natural disaster that can cause significant damage to property and infrastructure. Understanding the different types of floods and taking steps to prepare for them can help to mitigate their impact and protect yourself and your community. How do floods occur? Floods are caused by various natural and human-made factors that result in an excess of water that cannot be absorbed or contained in the surrounding area. Some of the most common causes of floods include heavy rainfall. One of the primary causes of floods is heavy rainfall, which can lead to an excess of water in rivers, streams, and other bodies of water. When the rainfall exceeds the soil's capacity to absorb it, the excess water can cause flooding in low-lying areas. Snowmelt. In areas with cold climates, snow accumulation can result in floods when the snow melts. This can occur rapidly if there is a sudden increase in temperature or prolonged rainfall. Storm surge. A storm surge is a rise in sea level that occurs during severe weather events, such as hurricanes or tropical storms. This can cause flooding in coastal areas and is often the most damaging aspect of these types of storms. Dam or levee failures. Dams and levees are designed to regulate water flow and prevent flooding, but when they fail, they can cause catastrophic flooding downstream. Urbanization. The rapid growth of cities can increase the risk of flooding by reducing the natural ability of the land to absorb water. Paved surfaces and buildings prevent water from being absorbed into the ground, which can lead to runoff and flooding. Overall, floods occur when there is an excess of water that cannot be contained or absorbed in the surrounding area. Understanding the causes of floods and taking steps to prepare for them can help to mitigate their impact and protect lives and property.